It's alive! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stream of Blood. My name's Jared Logan. This is a tabletop role-playing game channel where we play different tabletop role-playing games, and you have tuned in for this morning's episode of Frankensteins of Pennsylvania. Yes, I promised Frankensteins in my last vampire campaign, and now I must deliver. I am delivering in spades. I'm giving you more Frankensteins than you can shake a proverbial stick at. We are playing this excellent and underplayed game from the early 2000s. This is called Promethean the Created, and in this game you play creatures that are brought to life on a laboratory table and have to struggle to find their place in the world. It's also filled with all kinds of really cool, esoteric, alchemical lore and cool diagrams and things that look like a Frankenstein's journal. It's an awesomely cool game. I thought so when I first played it all the way back when it came out, and now I know it's great. Playing it with my friends here on the Stream of Blood. I always like to give a little bit of credit where credit is due to the people that have written these things for us. Promethean created concept and design Justin Achille, Bill Bridges, John Chambers, Oscar Garza, Will Hindmarch, Conrad Hubbard, Chris McDonough, Richard Thomas, Mike Todd. Thank you guys for this creepy, weird game. There we go. I got it in some good lighting there. And I got Frank behind me. So you know I'm a fan of the Golem mythos, the Promethean mythos. So welcome, guys, and happy Halloween! Oh, I should have said that first. Happy Halloween. It is sort of my favorite time of year because I'm a big horror hound, and I just love all of the stuff that is suddenly all around me. Been having a really fun Halloween trying to watch 31 horror movies for October. I'm currently actually at 29. So I've gotten through 29 films. I've posted on Twitter about I think 28 of them. So tonight I have to watch 2 horror films while I'm giving out candy to trick-or-treaters, and I will have done my 31 horror films for Halloween. Actually, I take that back. One of my things was a book. I read an excellent horror novel by Caitlin R. Kiernan called Agents of Dreamland, that if you're running a Delta Green campaign for Call of Cthulhu, you need to read Agents of Dreamland by Caitlin R. Kiernan. You got to read that. What else? I mean, the movies have been fantastic. Follow my Twitter if you want to kind of see some of the stuff I've been talking about. Oh, Kara and I took our kids to see some Halloween decorations here in our neighborhood of Highland Park. There are a lot of like really cool Halloween decorations. Some people really go all out and inflate giant spiders and giant grim reapers that hang over the entire house. And my wife told me, I saw a house with a really large skeleton with blinking eyes, up on Meridian, this street near us. And I said, oh, let's take Rosie, our 2.5-year-old, up to see this like skeleton with blinking eyes, because for some reason my 2.5-year-old loves skeletons. She's all the time like, I like this. Show me skeletons. I want to see the skeleton cartoon. She likes an old cartoon called The Skeleton Dance that we play on YouTube. So we take her up to this house where they have a giant skeleton, and it isn't that scary. It's just a skeleton and its eyes blink, and that was great. But then also at that house, they had a clown, and he's holding 2 children by their legs. And then when the animatronics came on, the clown like does like this, and the kids scream, and he goes, oh, don't scream. We're going to have some fun. And I was like, it scared me. I was like, we can't show this to our 2-year-old. And Kara was like, I'm sorry, they didn't turn that on last time. And I'm like, whether it was on or not, it's a evil clown holding children by their feet about to eat them. We can't show that to her. But my 2-year-old was completely fine. She has this sort of technique for how to like not get too nervous or scared of things. Like if I act like I'm scared, like I'm like, oh my, there's a ghost. My 2-year-old is always like, it's a nice ghost. And I'm like, oh, it's a nice ghost. Okay. Or like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's a zombie. And my 2-year-old will be like, but it's a nice zombie. It's a happy zombie. And I've decided I need to start using that technique for things that I'm afraid of. Like, oh no, it's okay. It's a nice discolored mole. Oh, that's all right. It's a happy end of unemployment benefits. Just kind of use Rosie's technique in my own life. That said, I think that I must give our general disclaimer. Now that I've told that story, our general disclaimer is that this is a horror game that we're about to play. And that means that sometimes there horrific things will happen. There might be some gore. There might be some violence. People might get their heads decapitated or their arms ripped off or their guts might spew out. There might be mind control. Strange powers will be at work. People may not be themselves. If any of this bothers you, that completely makes sense. And you can give this a pass. But the most important thing is that I would ask you to please let us know what you think about all of our content by getting in touch with us on our Discord, the Server of Blood. Hop on there. Let us know how you react to the show every week. We would really, really love to hear from you, especially if it's praise. We love praise. All right. All of that said, it's time to bring in our players. And I must admit, at this point today, I have but one. I don't know exactly what has happened in general with our cast, but we're going to soldier forward because that's what we do at the Stream of Blood. I'm going to bring in this guy. I mean, talk about dependable. It wouldn't be saying too much to say that he is my rock. And what just a Swiss Army knife of characters and pathos that he brings to everything that he does, including the Improvised Shakespeare Company and many of his other projects. Please welcome as Cyprian, a Galateid, Mr. Ross Bryant.
Oh, hey, Jared. Wow. Glad to hear you're having some good Halloween-y times.
Yes.
You caught me reading. I'm in Denver right now. It's my last day in Denver on this run of shows at the Improvised Shakespeare Company. And I found a bookshop that is just like wall to wall, cool, old, inexpensive genre paperbacks. And so I'm coming home with luggage full of way too many books. One of which is John le Carré's The Honorable Schoolboy, which I just started.
The Honorable Schoolboy is, one of his great spy novels. I almost said crime novels, but it sounds like a porn.
Yeah, yeah. You could say the same thing about Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, I guess.
Yeah. Do all of the John le Carré espionage novels sound like porn? The Honorable Schoolboy sounds like homoerotic porn.
Smiley's People.
Smiley's People. Oh,
and of
wow.
course, The Naive and Sentimental Lover.
That's not really there.
That is one.
Holy shit.
I got one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Spy Who Came in from the
cold.
The cold.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, that was a Secret Storyteller Clinton Trucks, everybody. Secret Storyteller Clinton Trucks. That's cool. I mean, I guess he didn't even realize it at the time that his books were a lot sexier than they might seem.
Yeah, so far so good. But
are you a big Le Carré guy?
I'm not. Because of the game that you and I are playing, the Wicked Empire Dungeons and Dragons campaign over in the Glass Cannon. There was some Le Carré DNA in one of the characters that we created, and I'd seen the Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy movie, and I watched the miniseries, and I watched The Spy Who Came in from the cold, but I had not read any of them. So I was like, I saw this there, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll fill that gap. And so far, it's great. It's so much more. It has so much more attitude and like sardonic patrician wit than those movies maybe exhibit, which are a little bit more like reserved.
I know, yeah. I mean, I'll say it again, Russ, and I've said it before. Books are different from movies.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I mean,
it's like a whole different medium.
It is kind of true though. Like I am unfortunately one of those dorks who's like the book was better because when you're in a book, you're in someone's fucking brain, you know? And like a movie can have incredible special effects, but like you know, at the end of the day, you're not inside someone's heart feeling what they feel, god damn it.
Yes. Well, at this time next week, when we again become Frankensteins, hopefully by then I will have seen Dune. So
yes,
we can have a real spicy convo about book v film.
I see what you did with the spicy there. Yes, we absolutely can. Ross Bryant, today we were supposed to have 3 players, and for reasons that are a little bit hazy and mysterious, we have but you. But are you game for to begin with a solo adventure, and we'll see if our companions show up? I mean, this is the way of the Promethean people, the created. They sort of wander the earth and occasionally bump into each other and have soulful scenes with each other at random. What do you think?
Promethean? I'm ready. What better way than with the game Promethean to explore solitude and loneliness?
Yes, that's right. You know, it's so funny. They made a game where it's like you have to remain, you know, alone, and then they're like, but it's a role-playing game, so there should be like 4 people in your party. But no, today we will explore solitude, and so I will just begin by saying that after your encounter with Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III and Achille, you all go your separate ways. It's not like every other role-playing game where instantly a party is formed and people are fast friends from then on out. In this particular case, the Cyprian decided to walk his own path and or say their own path. And then tell me, Cyprian, why did they head off on their own? What are they trying to do?
I think the Cyprian actually craves companionship.
Interesting. So something has gone awry with his relationship with his friends, perhaps with their friends. So,
I think we've discussed that this character was like almost like a music box of a person. Built to entertain, something who contains multitudes, but can't relate to others well, or it wants to learn how to relate to others.
Yeah. So, the Cyprian's ultimate goal is companionship and perhaps love. Then perhaps.
That sounds right.
Okay, and perhaps they found that Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III and Achille weren't quite capable of that, or perhaps they found that, you know, putting on the faces of other people they had met, like you did at the very end of our last episode, it wasn't quite conducive to becoming fast friends with them. But at any rate, at one point you've just found yourself alone again. And so how would Cyprian walk the earth? How would they attempt to find a companion? What would their strategy be?
Maybe I think trying to use the gifts that they have, which are beguiling looks and entertainment. I feel like we had the scene earlier where the Cyprian attempted some light David Blaine-esque busking.
Some close-up magic.
And maybe there's been a little bit more of that, and also trying to just maybe people at a crowded bar or club look across the room and like someone is like staring at them, and they strike up a conversation. And
well, let's set that scene then. We're in a crowded bar, and it's not really to the Cyprian. It is an exotic type of bar. It's a type of culture the Cyprian they are not really used to, and by that I mean that it's probably a bar with a lot of American flags hanging up. You know, there is a stage for playing music, and people have been playing what I would call hard rock Americana all night. Like it's a combination of classic rock and like just Willie Nelson, but also just like hard rock ditties. And the place is packed. The place is sweaty and full of people, and the Cyprian is there. And how are they dressed exactly?
There's people are boot scooting all over the place.
Yeah, they're boot scoot boogieing.
I think it's a coat, like a long kind of a coat, and it's the sort of thing where if you saw the profile, you just see a big coat with two little spindly legs coming out the bottom.
Yeah.
But if like the coat comes off, like I think it's still like they're dressed like a character in the androgynous attire of like the 18th century. Like it's like like frilly cuffs and like a little like jacket and stuff. And
so you're already getting looks.
So this is probably not the best look to have here.
Yeah, you're already getting looks from your attire, from your androgynous sort of mesmerizing kind of appearance.
Mm-hmm.
You're already getting looks, and I would like for you to make a wits plus alertness roll to see how aware the Cyprian is that they are getting looks as they move about this place.
Wits plus alertness.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I do have that right. I think I have it right now. All these different versions of the game use different skills, but I think I have figured out. Oh no, I'm wrong. There is no alertness in this version of the game. Why don't you use your wits plus your socialize? Of course, your socialize. That would make sense.
Great.
I get Old World of Darkness, New World of Darkness, and V5 confused.
Okay, and just to clarify, it's 8, 9s, 10s are successes, right?
That's correct. In this version of the game, 8, 9s, and 10s are successes.
All right. Well, I got 1.
1. Okay, so 1 is enough for you to notice that you are getting a look from kind of a big man down the bar, and he's kind of just like looking over his big beer at you. He's got a tall boy of like Coors, and he's just kind of looking over at you. And this guy, he looks like rough, rode hard, put away wet, came in off the road, long kind of like wet hair, beard, sleeveless like flannel like shirt, big man, and he's kind of giving you a look.
Okay. I think I'll continue to look back and order the well, I'll just like, excuse me, I'll have what he's having. And
interesting. Okay, yeah. So the bartender like sets a Coors tall boy down in front of you and is like $3.
Yes, of course. And we've never discussed how much cash, if any, these folks have.
Well, how about 0? Because
how about 0?
Last time there was an attempt to, we saw Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III got a bunch of candy and a gun, but I don't remember Cyprian. I don't remember them finding anything. So Cyprian, well, actually, would you like to make a roll to see if you've scrounged as you've been traveling away from them?
Yeah, I think it makes sense that they don't.
Okay, and, no problem.
Like, just like, of course, surely we can come to some sort of understanding.
Suddenly, you hear a voice go, "I got it," and a 5 goes down on the bar. Keep the change, Addy. And it's the guy that was staring at you.
Right. Thank you very much. I've always depended on the kindness of strangers.
What the hell are you doing in here in that getup?
I'm Sorry, it's really all I have. I'm new in town, you see.
New in town, yeah. Yeah, I bet you are. And now we are going to roll because you have now had an interaction with this person that is more than just a, passing quickly, which means you must roll for disquiet. So
Great.
now you must roll your Azoth.
Okay. I've got 2 Azoth. So those were both failures.
Okay, that's good, actually.
That's good. This is one of those times where you want to fail.
Yeah, because his composure roll yielded 1 success. So that means he is not suffering from the disquiet yet. And so he continues to talk to you for a while, and you find out that he is kind of like a guy that does, contract construction work in the area. But because you're in kind of a, rural part of Pennsylvania outside of Scranton, he has to kind of travel around quite a bit to find the projects to work on. And he just finished a big project and got a payday. He figured, why not come down here, have a couple beers?
You travel a great deal. I do as well. I understand that can be very lonesome.
Suddenly, this woman comes over and grabs Cyprian and says, "Dance with me."
Oh, okay. And it's like, yes, of course.
Dance with me. Don't say no. Come on.
Very, very well. And it's the kind of thing where Cyprian gets up, but is like eyes locked on the man that they were speaking to. It's just like,
his name's Doug, by the way. Doug. Doug kind of like stops her for a second. Is like, "Excuse me, we were having a conversation," and she's like, "It's just one dance." You can tell that she's kind of like drunk. And Doug is not suffering from disquiet, so he just sits there drinking his beer. And the woman pulls you. You're gonna let her pull you out onto the floor?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So she pulls you out on the floor. You see her girlfriends like laughing and pointing at you. And
kind of like, huh. And this is like I think this is so sad. Like any positive attention is like, oh, this is what I thrive on. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm making people happy. Like,
she gets in close right away. And it's like, what's that song, Melissa Etheridge? Please, baby, can't you see? I'm trying to explain. They're only playing.
I'm the only one.
Yeah. And she gets in real close, and she's like right on top of you, and she's already whispering stuff to you, like, "I saw you from across the room."
Okay.
I just knew I had to ask you for a dance, and my girlfriends told me I wouldn't do it. I said, "Of course I will, because I do what I feel. I just do what I feel. If something feels good, I do it." You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know precisely what you're saying. And I think so. I think Cyprian takes this as an opportunity to perform. So I like in a move, like the only example that's popping in my head is like Pee-wee, but like the way that like someone will, it's like, "What are you going to do in this bar? Dance?" And then they dance in such a way that they take over the whole place. And it's like, everyone's like, like that's what Cyprian is going to attempt to do right now.
Amazing. So Cyprian starts doing a really expressive dance. Does he ignore this woman, or does he kind of like incorporate her into the choreography?
He's going to try to incorporate her.
Okay, very good. Your expression, you before we started last week, you moved some dots from something into expression, right?
I moved him out of intimidation and into expression. Yeah.
Right, that's right. Okay, so please give me a dexterity plus expression roll.
All right. This is about as good of a dice pool as I could have. Let's see. Don't fail me now.
And look, you're often they'll say in the rules for some of these games, like, only roll when it's absolutely necessary. I actually don't follow that. I say only roll when it's fun. And sometimes I want to know what the dance looks like based on the number of successes. So how are we looking here?
And if you roll a 10, you roll again, right?
That's right.
Right.
10 again.
Ooh, okay. Well, the 10 was my sole success.
Okay, so with just one success, I think that you are like really kind of showing that you know how to dance really well, and you're spinning her and dipping her. And she is like kind of like screaming like ah, like she can't believe it when you're doing these things. And now I want you to roll your ass off.
Great. A 6 and a 5, so still no.
Yeah, and she got one success, so still no disquiet rearing its ugly head. So the song, so people are paying attention and they're clapping along to you, but it's not insane. Like you didn't get like so many successes that suddenly it got like weird in the bar because it got so choreographed and amazing.
Yeah, and it's like maybe the music's loud enough to where she doesn't hear like just like cogs and wheels spinning underneath the dead flesh of Cyprian's joints.
So that finishes, and she's trying to pull you over to the table with her girls.
And it's like and I look over at Doug, see what his reaction is.
He's kind of just like watching y'all, and he's out of beer, and he's kind of like, he looks a little bit like he doesn't know what to do. He looks like a little bit like he doesn't know quite what to do.
I think Sabrina like gives like a really kind of stately bow to her and like kind of walks over to Doug. It's like, your turn?
I don't dance. We can just talk, right?
Of course.
Where are you from?
I'm from and what was the name of the last town we were in? That was
Altoona.
I'm from Altoona.
I've been through Altoona a bunch of times, handful of times. Yeah, they got that railroad, that old railroad stop that goes like around that like sharp corner. They used to have, I guess there'd be crashes down there.
Oh, yes, the stuff of legend in the town. Also a beautiful old movie palace.
You ever go to the barn down there?
And Cyprian's getting
he's getting. Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I like Altoona. It's nice.
Where are you staying tonight, Doug? Because I need a place to stay.
You need a place to stay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I got a motel room actually.
Wonderful.
It's not nice.
Oh, I promise you, I'm sure it's nicer than some places I've stayed. But I can tell we're both people in need of companionship.
All right. Yeah. Well, should we go?
Yes, I'd like that.
And as you are walking toward the door, the woman stands back up. Her name's Becky, by the way. And she's got all of her friends with her. And she's like, wait, don't go. They're going to play more songs. And now I want one more Azoth roll.
Great.
One more Azoth roll.
I'm lucky, I guess. A 3 and a 4.
However, this time, no successes from Becky. And
interesting.
One success from Doug. Doug still has control of himself, but Becky is like, stay here. Come on. God damn it. and she's like kind of pulling you back into the bar.
Hey, and maybe when she does that, my arm is like, when she pulls it back, it like kind of moves in a way where it's like, whoa, are those joints even connected? What the hell is wrong with that arm?
Yeah, okay. And then she like lets go, and her friends all like kind of like step back, and she steps back, and Doug kind of gives them a look, and you guys head out of the bar.
Mm-hmm. And like maybe when Doug isn't looking, I kind of like cast one like kind of concerned glance over my shoulder, but it's way too far over my shoulder. It's almost like my head has gone fully 180 degrees. Like, what's wrong? I thought we had a lovely time.
You can tell that they're like kind of crawling away from you, like pushing through the crowd to get away from you, and like kind of like and they act like, you know, they act like you flashed them or something. Like what you've done is obscene. And the Cyprian, of course, they can't understand it, perhaps, but suffice to say, you've had the same effect you have on many with this lass, Becky. Soon you take his rusting Ford F-150 to a place called the Sugar Loaf Inn. That it looks like it was decrepit in the 70s. But the rooms are $30 a night. And you know, you kind of get the idea that Doug doesn't normally splurge on a room. That he doesn't often have the money for it, that he's often living out of this truck. He brings you into the room, and is like, I got a couple more beers I kept for after I get back in this little fridge if you want something.
I appreciate your hospitality. And Cyprian is kind of moving around the room, just kind of like touching things and like touching the sheets. Like they curled up like crammed themselves in like a corner like the previous night or something. It's like looking in the shower and stuff. It's like, it's lovely.
It's not lovely. It's actually a shithole. Yeah, there's like, I'm sorry, it's so nasty, man. This is just like this is a lap of luxury for me, to be honest. I mean, so there's just one bed. I'll sleep here in the chair. I sleep sitting up most nights anyway, so it's not a big deal.
I can tell that you're a gentleman. Yeah, I mean, this game is so nuts.
I know, especially the scene that we have plotted today.
Yeah, like,
but
I feel like this is the most like kind of like romantically intimate scene that we've ever done on this channel. It's like, and I also don't know what the Cyprian's actual relationship to like sexuality is, because I feel like they've only performed it and not actually had that kind of connection. So
I think that answers your question.
Yeah.
The Cyprian, they are made from human parts in addition to whatever, you know, other parts you've described as being part of your makeup. So the Cyprian can be capable of such things or not, but at any rate, it probably doesn't completely matter because you are interrupted. You need to roll your as off for me right now.
Great. That's one success.
Okay.
You don't have to be bashful, Doug. We can share everything if you like. You've been so kind to me.
I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
Oh.
Can we just talk some more?
Of course.
But the whole time he's talking to you right now, he's like you can't quite pay attention because there's this like needling feeling, like the back of your skull, like that your hackles rise and you feel your heart kind of skip a beat because somewhere in this motel is another one of the created. You can feel it. Their Azoth is calling to you.
And I'm just like looking at her like, excuse me. And I like stand up. I'm going to get some eyes like going around the room. Some ice. Yes. And grab the bucket and like make for the door.
What? Okay. You're coming back, right?
Of course, Doug. Make yourself comfortable.
Okay, I'm comfortable. All right, you
listen for my knock, and I make a little like and like walk out.
Very good. You are out, and you should be able to pinpoint where that sort of Azoth signature is coming from with like a wits plus investigation roll, maybe.
Great. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And Investigatron. That's mental, and it's 1. All right, 1 success.
Very good. So 1 success. You find the room that you that you find. You see a door, and it's like a busted little motel. So like,
there's this like a motor lodge where it's just like 1 story, and you
exactly.
Pull up.
Yeah, and there's a window, but it's like, of course, covered by like a really nasty kind of like stained blind. And
I put my hand on the window and like maybe just like listen.
Yeah, you hear a voice inside that you're familiar with. It's very high pitched. And then you hear another voice speaking to the voice that you recognize.
And what does that sound like?
Let's bring in Joe McAdam. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome. Glad you could make it.
I think we should establish that Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III is a very deep sleeper.
Of course. Who role plays at this time of the morning? It's completely insane.
Yeah, who would wake up at this time of day and role play a really intimate, romantic?
An intimate weird hookup scene. But listen, this is like a home game that we just happen to do on a stream. So I've definitely had people. I myself have definitely slept in on a game before. So here we are, and I think that in this scene that we're about to set, Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III has made a friend. You guys, the companions you were with last time, Joe, split up because Prometheans do that. They need solitude. They can't be around a lot of their kind. Sometimes it causes problems.
That's right.
But you are in a room with a woman who is a created named Patsy, and maybe we will show Patsy right now. And Patsy has enormous stigmata on her hands. Only other Prometheans can see this, and an enormous wound in her chest that bleeds like weird, like glowing white plasm all the time.
What?
Yes, this is Patsy.
I love how nuts this is.
Patsy, the reason perhaps Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III, you have agreed to work with Patsy, is that Patsy needs other created to help her investigate something. And she's explaining this to you now. I know that you were motivated by greed, and I think that I think she flashed money at Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III, and now she's telling you basically why she needs you.
So what are we looking for?
There it is.
We are trying to find my killer. You see, I was a sacrifice. I was murdered. And I just know that if I can find out who I was, why then I can be me again.
Weren't you, made like this?
Oh, you were made like this.
Yeah?
The process that did this to me was murder. It was an occult ritual against the beliefs that I espouse, against God, against Jesus Christ.
Oh. Who?
The servants of Satan did this to me.
Okay, I have to tell you, I don't know who this Jesus or Satan is, but I can help you look.
Matter. I need someone. It doesn't matter. I just need someone who's good in a tight spot.
That's me.
Yes. Because we might be up against the cult that murdered me.
Oh, well, I have friends.
Friends?
Yes, I think so.
Shh. There's someone outside. It could be the cult. Be very quiet.
Okay, I'll go check. Going to tiptoe very quietly over.
Check it.
And I'd like to go to the door and be like,
is there a cult out there?
Patsy is like, shh, what are you doing? If you look out, Mary Rose Priscilla the Third, you do see Cyprian, right? Unless you're hiding or something, Cyprian.
No, I think I'm just kind of fascinated and like weirded out by everything I've heard, and also just like Miss Mary Rose. You're
come
back.
in. I'm gonna open the door. It's a friend.
And just being called a friend, I'm like, yes, friend.
Patsy is like, Patsy's
I
like,
have also made a friend.
Oh yes, she is a client. She would like to hire us.
And she kind of like sniffs the air around Cyprian and is like, who are you? How do you know Mary?
We traveled together for a time.
Sometimes we play Little Mary and Papa every now and then, but otherwise we are travel companions.
Yes, that's good. That's very good. Little Mary and her papa. Yes, a family. I had a family once. That's what I want to find. Who was I? Look at me. You could see I was once quite beautiful. Who was I before they did this to me? Perhaps by helping me, you will also serve God, and he will smile upon you as he will upon me, and grant us all our humanity.
I too have made a companion. Should I ask him to join us?
Who?
Doug. His name is Doug.
Is he human? Is he human?
Yes, but he is very kind.
Then he must join us. Yes. Show me this Doug.
Follow me.
And so now the entire party is going down to the hotel room where Doug is staying.
Yeah, as we're going, I'm just gonna be like, hey, Cyprian, look, I kind of arranged a deal, and is it, I thought we were just gonna split the pay between us, and the party is getting a little larger now, so do you think Doug's okay with doing this pro bono?
Doug has shown himself to be more than gracious. He bought me a Coors.
A what?
That's what I said.
Oh. I assume it's good. A present's always good.
There will be no consumption of alcohol while we are on this journey, children. There can be no corruption or taint that will pull us away from the prize of humanity, from my identity. If this Doug imbibes alcoholic beverage, then perhaps he is better left at the wayside.
Oh.
I mean, he's not my friend, but I support the Cyprian in everything that they do. So
that appeal to pride. I'm like, yes, thank you. And knock on the door.
So Doug answers the door, and of course, humans don't see you as you really are. They see sort of a kind of a weird illusion that's thrown up in their minds. It's almost like they can't quite see your disfigurements because it would destroy their mind too much to realize that corpses are walking around. So with Patsy, he just sees sort of a woman in kind of ratty convenience store bought clothes, and she does in fact look like she was once maybe a beautiful woman, but hard times. In fact, not only is she kind of generally creepy, but Patsy sort of just emanates victimhood off of her the whole time. Like she just kind of like her posture is kind of like, fearful and hunched. And Doug answers the door and he sees a little girl and this woman and Cyprian. And he's like, Cyp, who's your friends?
These are my friends. It's a coincidence that they should happen to be here.
Hi, but we also, work together too. And we have some jobs to go do, but the Cyprian was so smitten by you that they said, oh, you might want to come along for fun.
You need help with something? Is someone in trouble?
Someone is in trouble, Doug.
Who? And finally, he feels like it's falling to Patsy now, and she's like,
"This young woman is in danger.
There is a satanic cult operating in the area." And he's like, "Really?" He's had a couple. Like,
yeah.
I need strong men and clever little girls to help me figure out who they've hurt. We have to begin this quest tonight. It's entirely possible that they are planning another sacrifice as we speak. Maybe we should call the cops. No. The cops are
No, we can't call the cops. No.
The police are in on it, Doug. Very likely. We must find out who they've hurt and who they are. Can you help us, Doug? Let's see. I'm going to roll Patsy's Azoff. And I'm going to roll Doug's Composure. Okay.
Oh, my.
And very good. Okay, so, yeah. So Doug is like, I mean, if you can't wait till morning, I can give you all a ride somewhere.
That's. I knew you would help us, Doug.
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. I mean, we got to help each other out in this life, right? So, where are we going? And so, Patsy says that she needs to find out everything she can about recent murders in this area. She's sure that she doesn't want to say it in front of Doug, but she's sure that the murder took place here outside of Scranton, and she has to find out who was murdered. And you know that means once she finds out who was murdered, she will find out who she was. if anything is unclear, feel free to ask me questions. And then, players, you may, since she hired you, you may suggest ways that you might get this done.
Yeah. So, what are the leads precisely that Patsy has? Is she taking us to a place where this cult was known to gather? Or
yes. Okay. Very good. So the reason she's here is she remembers where it happened, and so she takes you to a park, and it's granted as one of the few places in Pennsylvania with a little bit of mountains. And she takes you up into the mountains. She has Doug drive the car, and let me see where she takes you. She takes you to Robinson. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Robinson Park, and then at Robinson Park, you can see it's the beginning of where the mountains start. The hills start to slope up, and she takes you out into some pines, and out there you find what looks seriously like the site of some sort of sacrifice, but it's very old now. Like there's some kind of big altar stone. It's got like a big weird stain on it. And you can tell that the place has been well used. Like people have moved around here and tamped down all the grass and stuff like that. But it is a bit isolated. And there's the remains of something wooden that burned here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III is going to hop out and puts on an imaginary cap and goes, investigation time, and goes running towards where the stain of blood is and would like to taste it and determine perhaps how old it is.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. You may roll. Wow. You're going to taste the blood. That is a very strange Promethean way to investigate something. I love it. So, why don't you give me you have a lot of investigation. No wonder she hired you. You have a 4 investigation. Give me a resolve to taste the blood plus investigation roll. 6 dice for you.
8s, 9s, and 10s?
Yes.
Okay, 2 successes.
Nice.
So Miss Mary Rose, when you taste it, this isn't regular blood. There's something else in it. In fact, your Azoth inside of you flares because whatever was spilled here wasn't just blood. And if anybody would like to make an occult roll, and boy, man, are you missing a killie right now?
Right?
Yeah.
You can know exactly what it was that was also spilled here, or
I have 0 occult, but I'm using aloud as I'm tasting. Oh darn! Really?
No. How do you if you're rolling with something you don't have any pips in? How does that work?
You get a -1 for physical skills and for social skills, but for a mental skill like occult, you get a -3.
Oh,
so I'm going to go ahead and rule that neither of you can really figure out exactly what this substance was, except Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III. You're sure that it was it has to do with created. It has to do with Prometheans, because why is your Azoth flaring? Normal blood wouldn't make that happen. There's some kind of strange humor mixed in with the blood that was spilled here. And now Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III is like a little doll with like crusted blood kind of on her lips.
And am I able to determine if this is like how long ago this happened, or?
It happened many weeks ago. I'm going to say maybe as many as 2 months ago.
Okay.
And now that you're here, Patsy will tell you the story that Patsy barely remembers awakening on this slab. There was no one around her to teach her the ways of the damned, which is what she is calling Prometheans. She wandered into a truck stop and heard the most beautiful voice, the voice of an angel, that gave her name, Patsy Cline. And she took that name, and from the truck stop proprietors, she learned about Jesus Christ. and about how he is our savior. But soon she started to put one thing and another together, and she realized that she really has a life and a family somewhere, and that she is truly human. She just has to figure out who she was, who stabbed her, who did this to her. By the way, Doug's like over in the truck, and Patsy's like beside this like bloody stone, going like, "Who did this to me?" And like that weird like like juice is like pouring out of the gaping wound in her chest.
Wait, so to be clear, she learned about Jesus after. She doesn't actually remember any.
No, she's
life.
just
she's
sure.
Believing. Yeah, she's sure. Okay.
It's a matter of faith.
Now, perhaps Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III would like to correct her in, her assumptions, or explain to her that she's making assumptions, and that's fine too.
Look, when we wake up, it feels right to just believe what you're first presented with, but that's not always how it is. Sometimes you have to explore and learn more. You see, I woke up in a dollhouse, and I played at a semblance of life day after day. I came home and had a husband to play with, and it seemed like that was what humanity was. And then one day I looked outside and I realized it was very, very wrong. But I would have believed it for so much longer.
What are you trying to say, little girl?
I just say maybe don't believe the first thing someone has said to you after waking.
The first thing I saw after waking was a knife in my heart.
Oh.
The first thing I saw was my blood spilled on this stone.
Oh.
Jesus gave me my soul, my purpose. Don't for 1 second turn away from the light of Jesus Christ, little girl. I'm not paying you to tell me what to believe. I'm paying you to find out who I was.
Just know that what you find might be different from what you hope you'll find.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Prepare.
I don't know what you're talking about. Doug walks over.
Mm-hmm.
He's still nursing a tall boy. I still say, holy shit. Now he's looking at the blood stain. Do you think that's blood?
I do, Doug.
How is it? It's like stained into the rock.
It's been there for at least, I think a couple months, Doug.
How the hell, man? There's like weather here.
Oh.
Something very strange is going on, Doug.
Oh,
who could have done such a thing? Where did they go?
Look, if y'all are worried about someone hurting people or killing animals out here or something, you need to go to the police.
Maybe.
Come on, I'll go with you. You'll be all right. Look, you got priors, I got priors. All right? But if people are really in trouble, like, we need to talk to someone. Maybe the hospital.
Maybe we can find some records on it.
Records. Yeah.
Perhaps the hospital is an interesting idea.
Well, I leave it up to you then. Patsy is looking to you both like, yeah, where do we go now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Patsy has no memory of where the group that resurrected her went. I mean, if there are other attempts at this sort of thing, then maybe
some bodies.
There might be other bodies or people who brought like bodies with similar wounds into the morgue.
Either of you can make an intelligence roll if you'd like.
Great.
And you can add something to it. Resolve. If you're really resolving to solve this, you can add your resolve to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Although the police department is also good for like, I guess we could follow up with that for like records of other cult activity in the area, and maybe we can pinpoint something. Although I don't know why they'd give it to us. I got 1 success.
I got 2 successes.
You are the one, Cyprian. The Cyprian, they remember that Achille talked about, they had heard about a Promethean cult operating outside of Scranton. And if a created had figured out how to get humans to serve and worship them, then maybe they've unlocked something in the Promethean condition. So that's all coming back to you guys now that Achille has mentioned some kind of occult activity happening here outside of Scranton. So, curiouser and curiouser. Where do you go? Do you go to look up some police records? Do you go to the hospital, or a third thing we haven't thought of yet?
Should we do 2 things at once, or do you think we should stick together?
I've been alone for quite a while. I don't...
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So
I think it's I mean,
look, how many do you think are going to the hospital if it's the Prometheans that Achille mentioned?
Yes.
Tell me what you're talking about. Do you know something?
We think, Patsy, that whoever did this to you may have been working with, for, worshipping one of us.
What do you mean? You mean that created are doing this to people? Sacrificing people? Ruining our lives?
Patsy, I was made by one of us.
Yes, me too.
Satan didn't do this to you.
Well, whatever. We just have to find out who's responsible. That'll lead us to whoever I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Cyprian's scared of the police, so they vote hospital.
Very good. Doug says, yeah, we could go hospital.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we can find some more clues. Oh, before we go, I'm going to run around the grounds and see if I can find any, like, I don't know, loose fabric or, like, clues of shoe style.
Is there, like, a ceremonial dagger or something?
Yes.
Actually, really cool. Okay, so why don't you give me one more wits plus investigation roll to spot anything.
Yeah. Investigate.
Here we go.
Investigate.
3 successes.
Three successes is a lot in this version of the system. And so Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III is the queen of the scavengers. Like, she got all that candy and a gun last time. So Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III, you don't find one thing. You find lots of little things. You find, like, it looks like a piece of a human jawbone. You find, like, something that might be like a rib, like a human rib. Like, all of it has been weathered and washed by the climate, but a lot of it is, like, dug into the earth around that altar. All together, you find, I'm going to say, 3 kind of like pieces of person kind of laying, and a lot of it is kind of a little bit buried.
Okay.
We'll say jawbone, rib, and then, like, what might be like the bottom of someone's heel.
Oh.
bones now.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. No footprints or anything like that?
No, you can just tell that the site has been used. Probably, you know, it would be to a park ranger. It would look like, oh, people camp here because all of the vegetation has been really tamped down.
Okay.
And I think like while all that investigation is going on, Cyprian is just hanging out with Doug, like, so honorable of you to do this, to help someone in the moment of their deepest need. You're a good man, Doug.
Yeah, roll your Azoth.
Okay. A 9 and a 2, so that's a 1 success.
A 9 and a 2, and he got 3 successes, so he's fine. He's like, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. You know, I just knew you were different when I saw you walk in there. You know,
you liked that. You like that I'm different.
Hell yeah! I mean, I'm different. You know, like
I can tell.
I like weird ass movies like a lot of people have never heard of, you know.
Yes.
I like I've never been a square peg, you know. I'm a round peg. That's what I say. Anyway, let me drive y'all up to the general hospital, huh?
Thank you, Doug. It's good to not be like the others. And yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna take these bones, to be clear.
Do you show them? Do you show them to your companions?
Yes, I think it's like I open up what I assume I have a little bag, and it's got candy at the bottom, and it's got the bones on top, and I show the Cyprian.
This is all I could find, but it seems human.
Yes.
Like a building site here for us.
Patsy is hearing you, and Patsy is like, Show me. What did you find?
Bones, you know, that make people like you and a little bit me. And
may I touch?
Yes.
She reaches her hand into the bag and pulls out like the piece of a jawbone, and she's like shaking. And she drops it back into the bag.
Oh. What's wrong, Patsy?
Nothing. I knew I needed others like me. I knew you would find it. Yes, it's connected. You're right. That is connected. Possibly another victim. Oh, another poor victim like me. Another poor victim of this horrible cult. Thank you, dear. You are doing the Lord's work. Soon. We're so close now. I can feel it. Soon.
This Lord, have you met him? Have you met them?
Yes, I have. Yes.
And what do they do?
He is a man with a brown beard and long brown hair. He wears blue robes. He's very handsome. And he loves little children like you.
Oh, okay.
And even grown women like me. And he shows us the way to live a virtuous life. You pull up to the hospital.
Okay. More on that and how it's different from the cult later. Let's go in the hospital now.
Okay, so easy enough to enter the hospital. It's like almost morning now. It's like gotten very late. It's almost morning.
Sorry for keeping
so maybe shift is about to switch over from the third shift to like the morning shift. So you actually see nurses starting to walk out, like coming down the elevators and walking out. There's a woman at the desk, or you could go. This is the main lobby, or you could go around to the emergency room. You guys have been on Earth long enough to kind of have a vague familiarity with some of this stuff.
I mean, I think it seems like what we want is either medical records or some sort of morgue attendant who would be able to tell us like were other victims brought in from the park, or with wounds corresponding to the bones we found, or the wounds that we found in the on Patsy.
You know, I did watch a lot of TV in that dollhouse, and I think the most bribable person we may encounter may be the morgue attendant. Happens time and again.
Great. Would you like to go to the morgue?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Patsy, do you have money?
I do. And she peels off like a couple $20 bills.
Is that everything?
She peels off a couple more. She gives you $100.
Good. Okay. Let's do this.
So now you're at an entrance to a place that says, morgue on it.
And maybe I'll have Doug you stay here and sleep, Doug. We'll be back.
Okay, Sip.
You're on knight in shining armor.
Just goes.
Just wake me up when y'all want to drive back to the Hope Motel. Hey, I might get a Milky Way or something. You want something?
Whatever you choose, I'm sure I'll like it, Doug.
All right. So Doug goes to the snack machines. You were at the morgue, and at the morgue, there is a desk. You can't just waltz into a morgue, obviously. So there is a desk, and there is a person who has just started their shift, so they are fresh and not tired, sitting there playing gatekeeper. They look to be like some sort of clerk of the hospital, not a actual nurse or doctor or professional of that caliber.
Walk up and look up at the Cyprian.
Mm-hmm. Can I help you?
Yes. We have questions that you may be able to help us with. Yes?
Sure. She looks at you. She looks at Patsy, and a little bit of a skeptical look on her face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to scurry around the desk. I assume that I may be about desk height, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to scurry around it and just slip a single 20 in their hand.
Just go right for it.
What's this girl doing? What's happening?
Oh, it's quite all right. We're just showing you that we are friends. And friends help each other. Yes?
The hospital pays me.
Of course.
To make sure, weird people don't go in and out of here. She puts the $20 back on the desk.
And grab that.
Listen. There are terrible things happening in this town. We know.
Terrible things. Terrible.
We just want a little look over your records. Or if you could help us personally, and that would save us quite a bit of time. For time is of the essence. And I look at, is there a name tag?
Yeah. Meyer.
Meyer. Time is of the essence, Meyer. There have been murders in this town.
Murders.
And I'm just going to go for some of the families of the victims are right here in front of you. And I think that we have an opportunity to give them closure. Will you help us?
This is a very important role.
Yeah.
Would you like to use a skill to make this roll?
Yeah.
Cyprian, I think that this is this would be a persuasion roll.
Yeah, and mesmerizing appearance, I think, helps with persuasion.
Yes, it does.
Is there any sort of assistance I can do by crying while this is happening?
Well, you did the bribe and crying. Will give him will give the Cyprian. It will give them a die, an extra die. That's using a V5 roll. I hope I have that right. Okay.
It'll improve social skills such as seduction, gossip, personal appeal. Great. So,
and you know how it improves them, right? What does it do for you? Don't worry, I can find it.
Gains it just means I get a.
Is it 9 again?
I can spend Pyros to roll a failed check, or I get 9 again. I get the 9 again quality on this roll.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, so that's all very good. You can spend Pyros and re-roll it if you need to, but you also get your 9s, so your 10s and 9s will get re-rolled.
Okay. All right. So persuasion plus what would that be? Manipulation, I guess.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay. I got 2 successes.
Okay, that's like solidly successful, right? Like, and she finally goes,
"Don't you want to help us? Where authority has failed, good people have to do something."
Okay, listen. I can't let you in here. I don't think I can, but I can tell you this.
Yes.
About a month and a half ago, EMTs, police get a call out there in Robinson Park. There was some kind of massacre. They found pieces of 16 different people out there in those woods. They've connected them to people in town. I mean, 16 different disappearances. And no one's talking about it. They've kept it quiet. Somehow.
How could they do such a thing? How are these 16 connected?
All I know is they were wearing some sort of like black robes. Because some of the pieces still had that on them. And they all were gone in one night. They didn't find all of them. Do you understand?
What night was it?
She gives you, she looks in her calendar and she's like, this date. And it's about a month and a half ago. A little more.
Okay.
Look at Patsy. Ooh.
You've been extremely helpful.
Patsy is super upset.
Yeah.
Patsy is like, well, which one of them was me? Which one of the people who died was me?
Easy.
Well, which one of them? Oh, Lord, please help me know.
Do you have names?
Oh, God.
Names of the deceased.
You're asking Meyer?
Uh-huh.
She's like, I don't know. I shouldn't be talking about it. I could lose my job.
Yes, of course. You're being very brave right now, Meyer.
I'll let you do this. If you really want to get those names, you can you can spend a point of Pyros right now to activate your mesmerizing appearance.
Where does my Pyros live on this sheet? There it is. So I don't have any pips of Pyros like populating these little dots.
Roll a d10. That's how many you currently have.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do we roll that each game or is it?
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, because time has passed. Unless we did one that flowed right into the next one, we would.
Okay, so it's roll d10 for that each time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I rolled a 10, y'all, so I'm brimming with Pyros.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So spend a point of that, and I can.
Yeah.
All right, done. Pips of Pyros populating. Pips of Pyros populating.
Okay, great.
These are the warm-ups I do before every episode. Okay, cool. Yeah, so spent. And then do I roll anything else?
No, I'm gonna let it just kind of work. I'm adjudicating a little bit, but if you spend that point of Pyros to make your mesmerizing appearance really mesmerizing, then I think that Meyer becomes quite mesmerized and is like, I'll see if I can get him for you. And she gets into the computer and starts typing.
You're doing the right thing.
Meanwhile, Patsy is kind of freaking out. Like, she's upset that you have found that 16 people died in one night, and now there's 16 different people that she might be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's kind of spiraling and getting kind of loud, Miss Mary Rose. Orderlies are starting to like turn their head to look at her.
Oh, she's not well. Let me
climb Patsy and like put my arms around her as if she's carrying me, even though I'm holding on. And I'll start like sort of just crying and wailing so that it's like covering whatever Patsy may be saying. And
that's such a good plan.
Difficult child.
Such a good plan that I'm not even going to make you roll for it. People are just like, oh, it's a hospital and you see crazy shit like this sometimes. Like, you know, people just having a hard time. I mean, they're near the morgue. Maybe dad is in a bad way. So, so they ignore that. But I can tell you that Patsy is like, we have to find out. We have to find out. I paid you. I paid you. She's like shaking this little girl. I paid you.
Yeah, I'm gonna, paid you. Grab her back and try to fight her from like moving. I'm gonna like
stop it. You're acting like a child.
Finally, there's a printout, and you were handed the names, Cyprian.
Great. Thank you, Maya.
You didn't get this from me.
Of course not.
Okay, so you have a list of names.
Great.
And like addresses and like the full social security. I mean, like basically death certificates on 16 people.
Damn. Okay.
Oof. Miss Mary Rose will be stealing those identities later.
Yeah, you do. You have all of that info.
You have so many credit cards.
Of course, as I say, they are death certificates. So but like, look. Maybe there's a way to scam. I mean, there's surely a way to scam dead people. I just don't know what it is.
So as we walk out, assuming we can kind of get out without drawing more attention, I might show this list of names to Patsy and be like, "Search your memory, Patsy. Are you on this list? Are you here?"
She looks down through it, and there aren't a lot of female names. So one of them is named Mary Beth Truman. Mary Beth Truman, and she says, maybe that's me, Mary Beth, like the Virgin Mother.
Oh.
And like our little friend.
Yes, it's a good name.
Yes. Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm going home.
No. Oh.
Well,
come on. We have to wake up your friend. We have to wake up your friend.
Okay. All right.
Doug is like, I got Three Musketeer. I got Milky Way, and I got Cheez-Its. What's your poison?
I confess, I'm a bit of a sweet tooth. I take the Milky Way.
Very good. I don't know why I suddenly chose to role play snack choices. Maybe I'm hungry.
Maybe you want to.
Anyway, Patsy is like eating Cheez-Its like when you're in the car, and like some of the Cheez-Its are like coming out of holes in her throat and like falling out of like the hole in the center of her chest. She has instructed him to drive to a suburban house in Scranton, PA. But you guys can change or alter this plan or decide anything you'd like to do.
Look, I'm a little bit worried about this because, look, we're all created, Patsy, and it sounds like you were created by 16 different people. Wow.
What do you mean?
I just, like,
I was created by them.
You're made up of them. I think they all
of them? You're saying that those Satanists are part of me?
I don't know about Satanists. I think
you're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
You're a shitty, pissy little liar.
I'm not a liar. Listen to me. Look.
Okay. She's arguing with you, and it's making things really tense in the car. And Doug is like, "Should I pull over?"
Maybe you should.
Okay, like, he does.
It's like, and maybe I'll turn around and be like, "Now's not the time to start breaking down, Patsy. You're getting closer to the truth now. We're all getting closer to the truth. If you might get to know who you are, and we might get to know how they made you, and
take me
a community
to Mary Beth Truman's house. I wasn't made by these people. I was killed by them. I was killed by one of your kind. I'm human.
Yeah,
I gave you a chance. I gave you a chance to see the Lord's mercy.
The Cyprian's flaw is pride. So I think like at this moment, like the calm demeanors, like you see like kind of rise up in their seat a little bit. It's like, we've gone out of our way to help you, Patsy. I don't require any payment, but I think we've made a lot of headway, and I would appreciate it if you were a little more grateful.
That's what they said at the church. Grateful they had let me attend one service. But now I need to move on. That's what they said.
What church was this?
You pull up to the house.
Yeah.
This is the address according to GPS.
Thank you, Doug. You're invaluable. You're the best. You're the best of us, Doug. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like the Cyprian is smart enough to know that Cyprian is pretty naive with social interaction. Clearly, if he's bringing Doug to meet his friends, but
right.
I think maybe not so naive that they wouldn't understand that like a dead relative showing up on your doorstep wouldn't be distressing. Patsy, perhaps it's best if you wait here.
No, I'm not going to let you stop me from going home.
You might upset whoever's in there. Do you want to upset your potential family?
Why would they be upset? It's a miracle. I am risen like Lazarus. Step aside, creatures. She gets out of it.
Can I try and like brace her in there?
Oh, if you'd like, yeah. Give me a strength plus brawl roll.
Boy.
And I believe your unholy strength means you get a bonus to your brawl.
Is it a bonus to brawl, or did you say it was like
Forgive me, again? Strength. It's 9 again on strength. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two successes.
And you have a specific specifically you have a chokehold merit. So you deactivated, I think, Jean with this last time. Would you like to
yes,
make a roll to like chokehold? Okay, go ahead. Because she is like fighting you like a wildcat. Like like going like completely nuts. So you have to make your chokehold to try to deactivate Patsy.
Yes. What is that? Another of the same roll, or
let's go strength plus brawl again? Yes.
Okay. Only one success this time.
Okay. One success. But still, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and say that Patsy has to overcome you, right? In order to
No.
one success might be enough to kind of take her out of commission for a minute.
Shh, Patsy, shh. You're being so loud.
She did get one success. So after a successful hold, add the choke grapple maneuver, and you accumulate successes across multiple turns to knock unconscious for a few minutes. So so far you haven't accumulated any successes, but we can keep going back and forth. And if you get more at the end, like if you ever I'll tell you what, if you ever accumulate a total of like 3, you've got her.
Oh my god, I just got so many.
Really?
Yeah.
I just got 3 10s and a 9, so I would re-roll them all, and that's 4 successes to begin with.
Oh my lord.
And so 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
This is 8 successes right now?
Yes.
Holy moly. Man.
Patsy fought against you and got 3 successes that time, but you've accumulated more than enough successes to put her out.
I feel like that's more successes than I've gotten the entire game.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So normally like created are very hard to kind of like choke out and do stuff like that with, but when you have Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III's unholy strength, you're able to do it. And so Patsy is now flunk her faces against the cab of the truck.
Very stressful.
Oh, she's been through a lot, clearly.
Yeah. But do you want to go take a look at if anyone's in there?
Yes, I suppose so. All right. Yeah, let's do some skulking and slinking.
Yeah, very good. So skulking and slinking. Yes.
Maybe secure her before we leave. Like, is there?
Do you have any rope or anything?
What are you doing?
You're really asking a lot of Doug.
She was acting crazy, but I don't know if we should tie her up.
Look,
Did you hurt her?
No. I just gave her sleeping medication. She hasn't been.
He checks her pulse. Okay. He checks her breathing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look, she might ruin someone's life if she goes in there. So we're just trying to be careful.
Make sure she doesn't go in there, Doug.
I'll stay out here and watch her, but
good.
If anything else like that happens, then I'm taking her back to the hospital.
Completely understandable.
All right.
Cyprian will go.
Normal suburban house. It has a fence around the backyard. That fence is a picket fence where you can't kind of see right into it. And it looks like it's very middle class.
Cool. Mary. So
Mary Beth Truman.
Oh, Mary Beth Truman.
Mary Beth Truman's house. So I feel like the Elster can either try to like slink in and spy around, or just knock on the door and see who's there.
Yeah, what should we do?
A 2-story? 1 story?
1 story. What'll it be?
What's the plan?
Sneak or knock?
I mean, what we want is to find out what the connection is. We want to find our way back to the cult. So, like,
do you want to talk while I sneak in the back?
No, we're talking. Mary Rose Priscilla III. This is teamwork. Yes, we play to our strengths.
Yes.
Yep.
You're a good friend. I'll keep them talking. And I walk up to the door and yep.
There is no answer right away, and I will cut to Miss Mary Rose and ask, "Or how are you?" So there's a fence kind of surrounding the backyard, and there is a gate into the fence, but it does appear to be locked from the inside. probably with nothing that elaborate. Probably just like sort of like a latch or something on the inside.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go through I'm going to try to, make it, see if try and find a back door, essentially.
I think that's kind of what you found is you can go in this gate, but it's locked. Would you like to climb over the fence or push your way through the fence?
I could climb over. Yes, climb over.
Okay, good. Give me a Dex plus Athletics roll.
Okay. Three successes.
3 successes. So you do excellently, and I'm going to say that gets you. You jump like you know you're a little climber. You like scurry up the side of the fence, and you're over the side, and you're out in the middle of a yard that has like an old ATV with like a cover over it and a grill, and maybe there is like a decrepit old kiddie pool over in one corner, and everything is sort of dusty and looks kind of old and unused.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, at the front door, no one has answered.
Okay.
And you may make a let's see. I want you to make I think just an investigation roll will do, Cyprian.
Great. Wits plus investigate?
Wits. You may add your wits, yes.
Great. 1, 2, 3. And okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 success.
Great. You notice a paper kind of like attached to right near the door. And it looks very official. Your 1 success, all I will tell you is Cyprian, with his very limited knowledge of the law and things like that, he's seeing a lot of things like repossessed, due to be auctioned off by the county, and things like that. But he might not know what all of it means. Meanwhile, Miss Mary Rose, are you going to go inside? Are you going to go inside?
Yeah, if there is a window or anything, I would just like to look in, and looking outside, sort of maybe put together, that like.
I don't think anyone's home.
Right. You look inside, and it's clear that this place is dark. Because it's the daytime right now. It's a cold, cloudy, sunless day, but it is the daytime, and you are sure that no one is here.
I'm just gonna bust down this back door.
Smash! You hear no need to roll. You hear Cyprian from inside the house, like pieces of timber being torn asunder by your tiny diminutive friend.
A moment of doubt where I go,
hello?
Hello? Things are very still in here. Things are very still and quiet, and
okay.
I'm gonna tiptoe to the front door and open it. And
I don't think anyone's home.
There's all kinds of like little tchotchkes in here that are like, little Holstein cows that are kind of like, little ceramic ones, and like all kinds of like little things that like country ladies think are cool. Like, those signs that are like live, pray, laugh, like and stuff like that are all over the kitchen and things like that.
Do we see pictures, photographs?
Oh, in fact, you do. And you see this woman depicted with what might be her sisters or other members of her family. And she bears a slight resemblance to Patsy. Slight resemblance to Patsy.
I don't know. Look, here's the thing. While she's in the car, Cyprian, she's just like us, right? She's just delusional. She thinks that she's been murdered. I mean, technically, we're all made up of dead parts, right? At some point. But that's not who we are. We are new. We're newly created.
Brand new. Perfect.
Sure.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And it still doesn't answer who did this to her.
Well, I think.
Why was she chosen? And Cyprian's maybe looking at this, laugh and pray. She keeps talking about the church. This person went to church.
Are you examining the sign?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to see if yeah.
You can make a Dex plus, not Dex, let's call it a Resolve plus investigation on the sign.
All right. Resolve plus investigation. That's 2 plus 1. 2 successes. I'll be darned. Okay.
So when you do that, you realize that there's something behind the sign, and it's a little set of keys. And the kitchen has a door to what? Maybe a pantry? You're not sure.
Good chunk. And I use the key on that little door.
Yeah, it opens, and there are steps going down.
Oh, Cyprian, this is great. Oh, maybe we should be quiet.
Yes. I begin to slink down the stairs.
Yeah, I'll go behind them very quiet, as quietly as we can, I guess.
It does appear to be a light switch, but it's completely black down here. Like there's no light penetrating from the street. Flipping it on.
Yeah.
Red lights come on. You are in a room covered in like diaphanous red fabric with a big black altar with a pentagram emblazoned on it. A big black book and huge black candles on either side of it. And down closest to you is an enormous like stuffed goat's head.
None of this looks like the a handsome man with a brown beard and
Yeah.
And I think
you can both make rolls. Let's see. I would like a resolve plus composure roll from both of you.
Great. Total failure.
Okay.
2 successes.
So Mary Rose, you're the one that hears Doug fighting with Patsy right outside the front door.
And I think I'm fascinated, like I'm like holding the goat by the horns, just like masking away.
We have a problem, but you know what? It might be good if she sees this.
I'm gonna run up.
Mama, Daddy, I'm home. Mary Beth is home. You hear Patsy screaming, and you hear her moving through the kitchen. You said it might be good that she sees this. Do you want her to see it?
Yeah. I'm gonna run up and be like, Patsy, down here. I think you need to see this.
Okay, so Patsy comes down the stairs 2 at a time, comes into the room, looks at it, immediately vomits ectoplasm. And a bunch of it also comes out of the hole in her chest. And it starts to drain out of the holes in her hands. And it's ectoplasm, so it doesn't quite just drop. It kind of like floats in the air like tendrils. And she's like, what is this? What is this?
I don't know. It was in.
I thought that you might know.
And now you can see that she looks exactly like a little bit more than you thought in this moment, as she looks a lot like Mary Beth Truman, actually.
Oh.
This is in part of your basement. You tell us, what it is. All this.
You. She points at Miss Priscilla the third. You did this. You put this here.
How? I didn't have that much time.
Use your mind, Patsy.
And Patsy's teeth sharpen, and her hands get more like clawed, and she looks like more beast-like. What would everybody like to do? It looks like Patsy's about to have the ultimate freak out from realizing that Patsy isn't the victim of the cult. She is, as you guys earlier surmised, the cult.
I am going to say, I'm going to turn to Cyprian and say,
no job is worth this.
And I'm going to jump like to meet her and try to knock her down if I can.
Okay, great. That's a good idea. Cyprian, what are you going to do?
Don't come down here, Doug. And Cyprian turns to them and like little clockwork blades like out of the elbow and like
yeah.
I think we should all calm down. Yeah.
Very good. Patsy, like an animal, turns and begins trying to scurry up the stairs.
No.
So, yes. No. So it's going to be your role to grab her, Miss Mary Rose, versus Patsy's role to kind of scurry away.
Okay.
From this revelation. So here we go.
Am I doing a brawl plus?
Yeah, brawl plus strength.
Strength. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
4 successes.
I can't believe I have to tell you this.
God.
But Patsy has gone completely like kind of feral and instinctual, and Patsy rolled 5 successes.
No.
So Patsy is like up the stairs, and you hear Doug going, "Wait, stop!"
No. And I dash after like as fast as Cyprian can, which is fucking fast.
Then that's okay. So then I need a Dex plus athletics roll from you, Cyprian. Mary Rose, what would you like to do?
I would also like to scurry up, Pat, because I'm worried about the Cyprian's friend as well.
Doug, right? Yes. Okay. And Doug is going to try to defend himself because fight or flight has been activated in Patsy from this horrific revelation about her origin. And she is just clawing and scratching and biting. And it looks like she's going to rip his throat out.
No.
So here we go. I'm going to roll her move to do that. Okay. Okay. And now I would like to see Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III. How did your roll go?
Was it the same?
No, you're running this time, right? You're just trying to get up the stairs.
But I meant, athletics plus dex?
Dex plus athletics. Thank you. Okay. Yes.
I got 2 successes.
Okay, very good. And how about you, Cyprian? I'm going to find out everybody's successes.
I only got 1.
Okay, so do we want to spend willpower? Anybody to try to reroll some dice?
This sounds like a moment that Cyprian would definitely summon some extra will.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just see. I think that.
Do I just spend it and then re-roll one of the failed dice?
I think that's how it works. Let me make sure. But I think that's how it works. This is super important. I want to get this exactly
the odds
right.
Are still so rough.
You only got 1 success already. Is that correct?
Correct.
Cyprian? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now
after rolling 7 dice.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
All right. Willpower. Here we go. You can spend a point of willpower to gain a +3 modifier on a roll during a turn, or you can add 2 to your character's stamina, resolve, composure, or defense. Okay. So it works differently in this version of the game.
Okay.
Let's do this. If you're spending that point of willpower, you can just add that. You can roll those 3 dice. Right?
Okay, so I can roll. Spent it. So I'm adding 3.
Mm-hmm.
2 more successes. I rolled 6 and 2 9s, so that's a total of 3 successes now.
Well, that's really good because Patsy got 3. And so
Ooh.
as Patsy is about to rip into Doug, suddenly the Cyprian is upon her.
It's like running upstairs like
yeah.
It's like a spider. It's like climbing with arms and feet, just like it's I imagine that the Cyprian moves very Eon Flux. It's like joints dislocating, popping out, like shimmying out of this hole, like clambering up and on them.
So you halt Patsy before she gets close enough to like really rip into him, and then it is Mary Rose, you're right behind him as well, so you both reached him in time. Doug's like sitting in like the doorway, the main doorway that leads to the kitchen, like on his ass now. He's been knocked over, but he's not hurt. The claws just miss him, and so now you must tell me what you're going to do this round, because Patsy is going to fight like a weasel in a sack. So
What
are you gonna do, guys?
I will use my fists of Talos, take off my arm, and try to shove it straight through her neck.
Very good. Okay, great. I love that. And then let's see. What about you, Cyprian? You're the one who kind of did you get in her way, or do you have a hold of her, do you think?
Yeah, and I want to use my natural weaponry to stab. I think if Mary Rose is going for the neck, then I almost want to take this elbow blade and just like take an arm off her.
Oh, great. Okay, great. Both of you give me a you can make it a strength plus brawl, because it's natural weaponry.
Yeah, or could I, because I've got the fighting finesse merit, I exchange strength for dexterity.
Oh, that's right.
Because I'm using natural weaponry, can I roll weaponry instead of brawl?
You can roll weaponry, and you need to spend a point of Pyros, and you're going to get +1 damage to this. Okay.
Nice.
And then let's see, Fist of Talos. Do you have how your Fist of Talos works, Miss Mary Rose?
Oh no!
Good thing sure I have it right here. Okay, great. You can strike. You can ignore points of durability, so it's not as good for hurting people. It's like good for like ripping through, like. But that's okay.
Okay. Can I just stick my arm through?
Yes, of course.
And rip is the. Yeah, I'll just use my own strength.
Okay, let's see how Patsy does. Everybody roll.
All right.
And there we go. There we go. Of course, she's focusing on our friend, the Cyprian, because she is kind of really blocked by him. Mm-hmm. And so I will first ask Cyprian, how did you do?
I got 1 success.
Oh, Patsy got 2. And I think that she gets +1 for her natural weaponry, +1 damage. So you're going to take 2 lethal damage. But Miss Mary Rose, how did you do?
Don't like
3 successes.
Oh, none of those are negated by her because she used them on Cyprian, because the Cyprian, they were the one in her way. So all 3 of your successes bash the living fuck out of Patsy and knock her like across the room into a cabinet. You know, cleaning supplies like fall out from underneath the sink, and Patsy is kind of knocked silly for a second. And Doug's like, "What's happening? What the fuck is happening?" Look, it looks like Patsy has been momentarily neutralized. What you do next will really decide whether a fight continues or no. I will say, let me know whether you think it's time to destroy her, or whether another tactic is in need. And I will also say that Doug is having now a very poor reaction to the proceedings.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
I was going to say maybe it's like tell the Cyprian, get him out of here. And I would like to keep trying to destroy her.
I see.
Very good.
And I see that Miss Mary Rose seems to have this confrontation well in her tiny hands, and so I think I go to grab Doug and be like, "Run, Doug! We have to get out of here."
Very good. Okay, great. Here's the deal. I want you to make 2 rolls for me, Cyprian.
Great.
I want you to make an Azoth roll,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to make a roll of composure plus, I think it's persuasion to get him to go with you.
Great. Well, I got a success on both my Azoth rolls, and one was a 10. Do I roll that twice for an Azoth?
You unfortunately have to roll it again, I think.
Oh my God. All 3 are successes.
Well, don't even bother with the persuasion roll because
yeah, I think I got ripped open. Like I got 2 mortal. So it's like I turned to say that. It's like, Doug, you have to run. We have to get out of here. But like my little Lord Fauntleroy garb is ripped open, and you can see just like veins attached to like cogs and gears, like flywheels humming on the inside. Like, we have to get out of here, my friend.
Oh no!
Doug screams and says, "Get away from me!"
No,
runs out into the night. And now I turn to Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III. And what do you do to?
I want to get ground and pound like out here. I want to use this ability somehow. I think I need I need to get her onto the ground. She's dazed.
She's on the ground. She's on the ground right now.
Great. Let's ground and pound.
Okay, great.
So I can take the rope quality to strike a prone target if I fall prone myself. So I'll just get on the ground and fucking beat the shit out of her face.
Yes. Okay, and the rope quality, I believe, is like taking automatic successes.
I think it means I can re-roll all my failures or something.
Oh, that's what it means. That's exactly what it means. Okay, so go ahead and give me a strength plus ball roll as you leap onto Patsy and ground and pound Patsy.
Mm.
Three successes.
Okay, so 3 successes. And here's Patsy. Let's see how Patsy does. Because Patsy's not going to just let herself get pounded, right?
Sure.
Patsy does 0 successes. So here's what I'm going to roll. Prometheans are very hardy. You have not killed her, but you've basically smashed her so hard so many times that the kitchen floor is giving way. So I ask you, do you want to smash one more time?
Yes.
Miss Mary Rose, you smash one more time. Give me the roll.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Blammo.
Holy shit. I'm hearing a lot of dice rolling.
Yeah. See, Jared, this is how we feel most of the time when you're just...
Yes, exactly.
letting those bones rain.
9 successes.
What the hell?
I don't know how that happened, but...
Well, 9s and 10s get re-rolled, right? 9
That's
and 10
right.
Again?
They do, yes.
I got a lot of the...
Holy smoke. So, oh my God. Amazing.
So you smash Patsy through the floor of the kitchen. Linoleum crumbles and fragments. You push through like sort of like the load-bearing timbers that separate that cellar with the rest of the house, and suddenly you're all down like as like the whole house starts to kind of cave in, and you pressed Patsy down against that like skull of that goat and onto the altar with the pentagram. And as you do so, you see Patsy's eyes light up with Azoth, and 2 huge horns made of fiery Azoth like grow out of Patsy's head And she's like, I am the adversary. I am the darkness at the edge of the light. I will find you. I will destroy. And then like more pieces of the house are coming down. Miss Mary Rose, do you wish to escape, or do you wish to just let yourself be buried with Patsy? Or a third thing I haven't thought of.
Look, I'm not too worried about. I think it's easier for me to climb out of rubble with the strength I have than it is to try and like dodge everything.
Hell yeah!
Very good. That's a good point.
Let it happen.
So let's do one more roll, okay? Let's see how much.
Or could it be that I, Shoulders of Atlas, literally put my arms up and just catch everything like coming up above me?
That's what happens because you have Shoulders of Atlas. That's exactly what happens. Your Shoulders of Atlas allow you to your strength is doubled. Lifting attempts follow normal rules, but you are doubling the strength. Yeah, and this is definitely lifting. That's amazing. The house comes down on Patsy, but not on you, Miss Mary Rose, Priscilla III. That last thing you see is her demonic face and hear her horrible chanting. But you keep the house up, and then now you're throwing timbers off of yourself. Doug has driven away, like around the corner, and perhaps you find in the dust as you crawl out only one figure left on this street.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Just kind of like huddled next to a tree.
Yeah, I'll like dust myself off and walk slowly over to Cyprian and put a hand on their shoulder, like,
hey, you okay?
I'm sure I'll be fine, Miss Mary Rose.
Give a little hug and
in your very strong hands. After all, I've always depended on the kindness of strangers. And as Cyprian stands up, you can see like on the tree, there's like a little like C plus D, like as if carved with a little clockwork claw into the bark.
And so I'm going to leave them there under the tree. C plus D, but it's Mary Rose and our friend Cyprian under that tree on a cold gray day in October. And then I'm going to just give a little bit of a coda, a little bit of an epilogue. Several days later, a figure in black robes approaches the house and looks at the ruins of the house. And then this figure in like this dark black hood and like kind of jacket, bearing a staff, and the staff has a caduceus on the end of it, clambers down into the hole and starts lifting rocks out of the hole, and then puts their hand down in, and suddenly a hand dripping with ectoplasm reaches up and grabs it.
Oh, shit.
And that is the end of today's adventure! Promethean! Fuck you! Thank you to Ross Bryan and Joe McAdam for making this really, really fun and amazing yet again. I'm so glad it came together today. You guys were awesome. So thanks.
I feel like we just made a sworn enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You definitely did.
The adversary.
Yeah. But you guys, you figured out that she was barking up the wrong tree early on,
Yeah.
But the funniest thing to me was like, you knew she was unstable and you're like, let's show her. Let's give her the truth. So you chose truth over a convenient lie. I find that really interesting. Well, thank you guys. This was weird yet again today.
Oh, this is such a weird game. But I
think it's going to keep being weird for sure.
I know. It's just going to, just exponential weirdness growth.
Well, let's see if we can get it even weirder next week. But until then, I will say goodbye to Joe McAdam and Ross Bryan. Thank you guys, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That is our show for this morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another episode. We're going to do it until I think about a couple more weeks. I can tell you exactly on our Discord or whatever, but we're going to keep it going a couple more weeks up till Thanksgiving here. And this Tuesday, please be sure to tune in to our Neptune Society adventure. Tuesdays, Taste of Blood, 7 p.m. Pacific. We are doing part 2 of the Horns of Samhain, a Neptune Society adventure dealing with Halloween and the traditional celebration of it. So check that out. This coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. We've got Gabe Soria, Mary Lou, and Jordan Dahl playing in that game. And then the following week, the following 2 weeks, be sure to check out Taste of Blood for Mork Borg. We are bringing back Thaco Tuesdays, but we are going to be playing the black metal version, Mork Borg, on 11/9 and 11/16, and I hope you all will tune in for that. Okay, I think that's all my announcements. We have a merch store. Please check that out. I want to thank Clinton Trucks and Brian Baldinger, my producers and partners. I want to thank Megan Arch, my social media manager, Jill Petracek, who does so many things for us, including art direction. And I want to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in, for having 80-some people watching a Promethean, the created stream on a Sunday morning. I mean, life is good. Unlife is good. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.